10 seconds.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We are in our 38th week installment of the COVID pandemic, where we've been locked in our bomb shelters with our masks on while driving our own cars.
At least you made it to the show today. I was afraid you were going to get lost again.
God, yeah, I thought the zombies almost got me last time. So
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I had to fight my way back. The Walking Dead. I'm just gonna be munching on some fruit snacks, some Welch's, kingship.
So this is a non-paintball story, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit it off because it happened at a paintball field.
Kingship.
One time we showed up to Wes's dad's paintball field, and Wes's dad was like, "Hey, y'all gotta clean the fucking field up when y'all leave." And we were like, "What are you talking about?" Like, whatever. We get down there, it's all covered in fruit snacks, all from him.
Nah, I don't eat fruit
Dude,
snacks.
your dad he thought it was like me and your brother, and we're like, we're not sitting down here eating fruit snacks. Like, I don't know what you were doing then. I got ideas, but I'm like, it wasn't us.
I don't know. There could have been somebody else eating fruit snacks.
That's funny.
You never know. The fruit snack monster.
Something. So, you want me to hit you with my topics today, or do you have?
Yeah, man.
Or are you? How are you? You want me? You like me? You like me go first?
I got some practice topics, but for this upcoming event that we're gonna play at, and we haven't scrimmage or played in like almost a month
since the tournament.
Yeah. Oof, got us roasted. Boom.
In our defense, not 100% our fault. Not 100%. Maybe I say it's about 50%.
90.
No, I don't even think it's that bad. We would have been able to play this weekend if all the turf would have been delivered.
Yeah. Which I just got a call from him today when I called you with the guns. Or talked about the guns. He says that the guy's being a cock and won't deliver the turf. That they have a dump trailer and they're sending a guy up there Wednesday or Thursday to get all the rest of the turf and bring it back. Okay. He said the guy is being a douche and won't deliver the rest of the turf. So they're gonna, I don't know why. It was agreed upon, X amount of dollars, results in this amount of turf being delivered. And I guess it's been like a month or 6 since they've got it. So now the dude's being a cock and won't drop. I don't know. But they are handling it and they are getting the turf, which is great. So we can get the last 2 strips laid down and get seamed and get rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we could play on it probably before it gets
I have so many guys contacting me about this scrimmage they want to do on the 27th. Realistically, I don't think it's going to happen now because that only gives us 3 working days roughly on the field, which we could do it in 3 working days. We could easily have that field done in 3 working days.
Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar now. That's it'll be up.
You'd have a double day next week, not a big deal, and you'd have probably Saturday of the following before the practice, which is easily doable. But I don't see the turf. I mean, maybe the turf gets here. He said as soon as they get there, they're gonna flip it all down the hill for us, so we're gonna scoop it up and go. So that'll be great. But
good.
I think it's pushing it, and I told them the same thing. I just don't think it'll happen. But I've already been contacted by Wills as well, and they want to do a practice before Cup on our field. So, and Ethan and Seth from HER, they want to do one. Gridiron guys, I thought they were talking about traveling up. If not, the KMA wants to come out. So
yeah, we can hit up some of the 843 guys too. So we can hit up some of the 843 guys too. Yeah, at the Augusta.
Yep. So we were able to get 5 teams, 6 teams, not including what we can bring out.
Yeah.
Which would be great.
That'd be amazing, especially right before Cup. That'd be good practice for everyone across the board.
Yes.
We'll be able to have from D5 to D3 teams out there easily.
Yes.
Well, this is go ahead. You keep going. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say that. I mean, I feel like not practicing right is definitely putting us at behind the 8 ball here.
Oh, absolutely.
Tournament.
Yeah.
Like, I really, these guys need practice and drills and points every single weekend.
Yes.
We haven't played since the tournament, and we're going to go to a tournament off of a prior tournament. I'm hoping we can get 2 good weeks of practice in. So it's just going to – if they can't get the turf down, I mean, to me, the tournament's more important than the field.
I mean, no, I agree. I mean, like I said, if we can get turf this weekend, play turf Saturday, maybe even Sunday. I mean, and then if we can for sure play You know what I mean? If we get 2 good days on it this weekend, and I guess reevaluate, and then if we decide, okay, the weekend before tournament, we have to go to Jacksonville, we have to go somewhere just to play, then we just finish the turf the weekend after the event. I think that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. But because like if we can get it all laid down and started to be seamed, and while people are starting to seam it, we can maybe start gridding it at the same time. You know what I mean? We can have maybe done it 2 days because there's not much left to lay.
No.
I just don't know because I know there's no nets on that side, but we really only need 1 net across that side right there. You know what I mean? We don't really need one anywhere else because it's the woods and then backs up to one of the other fields. So I don't know. I think we can do it. But it's kind of a good segue into one of my topics. I'm kind of thinking – I have 3 of them, so this will be a good one. Why do you think from certain field owners, at least in my experience and where we're at, why do you think tournament players get a bad rap from those field owners?
For shooting rec players? I just talked to Mike about it today.
Seriously? That's it?
For 100%, 1,000%.
Easily, okay.
Two reasons.
Okay.
One is speedball players are fucking crybabies. Mm-hmm. So they cry about everything. The paint's not right. If they're paying $6 more for case instead of 50 instead of the 40 they're used to, the 30 they're used to, they're paying 47 and 52, which we've been guilty of such. Mm-hmm. But I've always been, I don't want to say sponsored, but like I've always been taken care of at whatever field I go to. Like I show up, sign autographs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And we pay in between $20 and $35 a case, depending on what field and where I'm at in the United States. Yeah. Most of us get that when we play. Now you go to some fields, and sometimes you have to pay. That's just the name of the game. But when these guys show up to other fields, they might complain about paying the $45 or the $50 a case. Sometimes the players don't have the ability to change that at the field, and the rec players and the walk-ons and the rentals don't say a fucking word. Nope. They smile, they get to pay. You can literally take all their paint and fucking pull a hammer out and smash all their paint inside their bags in a case, and they would just smile, dump all the paint into their gun, and just go shoot in the woods and not care. Yep. Field owners want that. They don't want people crying and bitching and whining and complaining. They'd much rather have a guy that spends, let's say, $70 a person to play and just has a blast, doesn't say anything, just comes over to get more air and then goes and plays. Because field players are whiny bitches.
Oh yeah, no.
If the grass is too tall, if it's too short, and it has too much mud, if it's too hard, the paint doesn't shoot straight, if the air's only filling 3,000, we've all been guilty of this.
Oh yeah, I've complained about it, and probably will continue to.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's a bad thing. I guess I have high expectations.
I hold fields to a higher standard. I feel that if you have a nice speedball field, if you have a nice showing of speedball players, you need to be accommodating them to a certain extent. I'm not asking you to stroke my dick, but have a nice field, keep it maintained. Have the air fill in the 45. Jesus fucking Christ. How many times I've been to a field and it goes it's like a 28, or the fucking having nothing but air problems all day long. Yeah. It's just like, damn, dude. I know the Reynolds don't care because they're only shooting like a hopper of paint per game for 35 minutes. They don't care. But we're shooting a lot more. Give us 45 fills. Have you prepped. I don't care if if the grass is a little bit tall. I really don't give a shit about that. Some guys bitch man, they haven't moved the field. I really don't care. If it's grass, I'm like, cool. If it's turf, even better. But yeah, that's why. And then if we go and play rec, that's why when I try our guys to go rec, I make sure we play mech. So we're playing mech against the rec dudes, beating them in the dirt, but we're shooting them one ball at a time. So it doesn't really matter. They can't cry about that. But all their players that have no gun control will take electrodes out there and then just. I had to talk today for 30 minutes with a field owner today about that, about he's having issues with his rec players or tournament players going onto the rec side of the field and just playing 4-on-12 and 4-on-20 and 5 on everybody and just running them into the ground. Yeah. And we've known from prior experience that's not the way to operate a field.
Absolutely.
But that right there, and you're hurting his money, you know what I mean? So
yeah, oh yeah.
And obviously, we did it at Dad's at a younger age, not paying attention. Dad would have rental guys. Now sometimes in my defense, I've definitely been guilty of this, but we're next to an army base. We have a lot of rangers, who think that since they can run a shoot house in real life, that they can go and play in the woods and or even speedball field. Sometimes they think that what you call it, coordinate or not coordinate. Sorry, what's the word? Like
just kind of like go together. Yeah,
mesh. Yeah, and correlates that with playing speedball or woods or clearing houses. That doesn't translate into speedball or paintball. It doesn't. Like it's just you're not getting shot real bullets. So I can just like lay behind a piece of wood while you shoot, and then I'm gonna come up and just melt you. So I don't know how many times when I was a younger kid, they would have like 5 or 10 rangers come out, and they're all like hua, army rangers, and they would run through the woods in fucking V formation, and I would literally shit on all 5 by myself. I'm like, who? I'm like, this is not how you go. Like, do you do this down range? You guys run at people in the woods in V formation? Like, if I was a fucking Afghani, like, I would kill all of you guys. I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you running like this? But yeah, and that right there. But you're also hurting his money. You're hurting because the guys are gonna go back and they're just shooting that piss out of each other. They're gonna go buy another case and buy another case. But they're gonna get beat down by 3 or 4 times out of us, and they go, okay, I think we should just go to the bar and just drink and just stop.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree with you. I was gonna say everything you said, except I didn't even think about the like tournament players destroying the rec players, because I just don't ever play rec. It just isn't really. I do occasionally, but it's really rare. But your dad was always the one who was like, don't go, he goes, if y'all go play with them, he goes, either let them shoot you or be really, really nice. And we were like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go shooting someone's their first time playing. I don't want to ruin that. So that was never going to happen. But okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I think you honestly said everything I was going to say. My biggest one was like, we're a bunch of crybabies. Yeah. Paint and field conditions are like the biggest for me, and air, obviously. I mean, those are the 3 things I needed. Like, I had kind of gotten spoiled, I guess, over the years, where when I first started playing, I just needed good paint. Like, the field conditions were what they were. We never had good air. And then it was like we started playing at nicer fields. So now every time I go to a field, I'm like, oh, I expect a 4,000 fill, paint at a halfway decent price. And if I'm traveling to play at another team's home field, I expect the field to be set up for me. That's another thing. But my home field, I mean, it's what it is. I know sometimes we got to do it. But yeah. No, I think, that all kind of makes sense. So I know you like to shit on people. So I got a topic for you to kind of shit on people.
Thank God.
I know. I never bring these up.
You should bring a topic to the cast every day about me shitting on somebody. Like, I would love, like, I can definitely put input on that.
This is one, so... it's really fucked up. I probably shouldn't even do this because it really could, like, definitely some people are gonna be like, oh, that's me. What's the first thing you think when you see someone with like a full matching setup? Like,
big yikes.
Big yikes. All right, pants, goggles, guns, everything. Like, it's all dire.
It's big yikes, followed by a big oof, right? And then it's like, this dude is in for a rude fucking awakening.
Yeah. Especially when they say something like, I've had this is from experience, when they go, well, I used to play D4 or D3 somewhere, and we're like, oh, okay, and then we watch, we're like, oh, you just bunkered your girlfriend, bro. That's the only person you've shot all day. Right, come play with us. And then we had to shut that shit down real quick.
Yeah, I remember that. God. That story he just told you was actually a true story about a local player here that definitely thought they were a lot better than they were. And then was playing, like he said, against his girlfriend, and then who probably never played before in her life, and then ran down and bunkered her in the back and just shot the shit out of her.
They ran to the same bunker in the woods at your dad's house. So they were like, think of like gallon drums, like you would get gas in, or like food drums or whatever. Yeah, and there was a pallet between them, and then it was like 4 barrels, like so barrels on each side with a pallet in the middle, and they both ran up to it, and he just seen her and just like right over the top, like just dunked on her, like, and we were I was reffing probably 12 feet from it. I was like, oh shit! I was like, yeah, let's not do that. Like, that's your like, I didn't know that was his girlfriend, but he was like, oh, sorry, baby. I'm like, dude, that's your girlfriend. Don't shoot her like that. Like, don't shoot anybody out here like that. Really, you're playing with a bunch of rentals.
Yeah. Yeah, then we proceeded to just shit on this dude.
Yes.
He was
He hung around for a hot minute.
He did.
A lot longer than I expected.
Yes. I think he was hoping maybe his D3 magic would come back. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a field. How many somebody has contacted me either from watching me play or come to me on the field and say, "Hey man, I'm looking to join a team." And I'm always great. I'm like, sweet. Like we got players looking to join a team. Like I'm always looking to bring more players in.
Oh yeah.
And the dude's like, I played D4 for like 4 years, and now I'm playing D3. I'm like, okay, cool. Or this is my favorite thing. I used to play D2 back in the day, and I'm like, well, what's back in the day? The guy's like, oh, well, we should shoot, Autocockers and Angels. I'm like, all right, well, check it out. Like I used to play D2 back then, so I like people who say that I can't always just say, I used to play D2 and we used to shoot Autocockers and Angels because I was. So I'm like, all right, well, they might be good.
Yeah.
And then you get out here, and then this dude's like teacupping his gun, and I'm like, "Oh no, dude!" I'm like, "What?
Get out of 2001, bro!
Yeah,
bring in the sock hats."
I was like, put the sock hat and the long stick squeegee tucked away in your backpack away, dude. Like, oh my god, take the JT speed feed off your thing with your fucking JT, what you call Lachlan pods.
I don't know what the name of those are, but your dad had so many of those things.
I think they're JT speed loaders.
They might be. Your dad, he would always brag about it. He was like,
he always had them, and he loved that JT speed gel pack. That the pods went sideways like this, but it was open on both sides, and they stuck in there. And some of you guys might be a little bit too young to know what these pods are, but think of this is before speed feeds were around, and it was a collar, like a 4-inch long collar, which, by the way, is fucking retarded.
It made your hopper so obnoxiously tall on guns that were already tall. With like
it was literally like 4 or 5 inches long speed feed, and the pods were longer, but there was this like teeth that went like this that closed up, and there's a rubber band on top. But when you pushed them in, there was teeth inside the speed feed and teeth on your pod. When you pushed them in, it slid the teeth the rubber band was holding it, and you pushed it down, and as it went down, it opened the pod up and said loaded the paint in. So you could just go and like load the pods like that. Great idea back in the day. This was started the whole speed feed era. Great idea. Definitely the guy designing them probably should have been a little bit smarter. But anyways, my dad loved those things, and he had a pack for those 4 pods. I think it was 4. There's no 4-1 because that didn't exist back in the day.
Yeah.
So it was a 4 pod pack sideways, and they went long ways across your back. And
he probably hung down from like his mid back to his ass, probably. Like,
easily, yeah, for sure. He loved that thing, man. God,
I can just remember him. We'd be like, we need pods, and he had like 8 of them were like hanging around, and he was always like, you can take these, and we're like, no, we cannot take those.
Yes, I do not wish to have my fucking hopper 7 inches longer than it needs to be.
Gosh, I'll have to find a picture of those to put on the Facebook page just so people can have an understanding. They were
awful.
Crazy. It's almost like what were they, the warp feeds that would move it to the side.
Remember the whole team before? I think really before you were around, there was a team that used to play in Savannah at the ski chalet. And it was Jeff Thomas actually played with them, but it was Ben who owned the ski chalet. Jeff Thomas, Joe Ellis, for rest of his soul, used to play with them as well. And that way they're all like friends. And they all came and started hanging out with us a little bit. Yeah. But they all had automatic RT Pros, EMAGs. They all had EMAGs, and they all had warp feeds. So it was funny playing against them because we played on cans. They back in the day there was lay down cans, and they'd run up to lay down cans and they'd shoot over the lay down cans, and all you could see is like their corner of their lens and their barrel because the hopper's below the bunker. So it was kind of cool, right? So like nowadays, if you had that set up, you could use it on the little mini walls that have that little triangle.
Oh yeah.
People still sit there and they tilt it in, they shoot on that. But if you had no hopper in your gun, you could sit on that mini wall.
That's very true.
So I might have to dig one of those up and run one of those for an event just to fucking droll.
Oh my gosh, people are gonna be like, "Where did he dig that thing out of?" I'll be like, "Yeah, next to all the sock hats."
Yeah. God.
I wanted one of those so bad too, because that was probably when I started seeing them was like 2003, 2004. I'm sure they're older than that, but that's like when I started playing it, and I was like looking at, you know what I mean, as a kid, I'm like,
Yeah,
I need
everything
to find this.
cool.
I'm on Action Village. I'm like, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and
Yep.
11-year-old kid, I didn't have the money to get me that shit, but I was like,
Yeah.
I want one, and obviously I'm glad I never asked for something like that. That would be the biggest fucking waste of money I ever spent. But
Well, you know, like we mentioned before, your Ion was the biggest waste of money, I think.
yeah, that was a $750 Ion probably. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, so going back to what you say is
matching setups.
Yeah, when I see somebody with a matching setup, I automatically think they're brand new, or they stopped for a long time and bought all brand new gear. I want to get back into it. But typically, if you're back in the day, you have a little bit of swagger, a little bit of like ag to you, and when somebody comes out to the field, like if Oliver Lang came out of the field right now and was wearing all matching gear, even me knowing Oliver Lang, I probably wouldn't fear him.
Yeah,
like, this dude is fucking a bum. This guy's a bum. He's a bum. All Dynasty can come out with all solid matching everything, and I'd be like, these dudes are bums. Like, I wouldn't even take them serious.
Well, the part that gets me with the matching gear is, okay, so you bring up Dynasty. That's like, when I think of matching gear, Dynasty and the Iron Man are for some reason the two teams that just pop into my head. Obviously, all the pro teams, they're matching. You're playing with your boys, you're matching. But like when a new player comes out, it's brand new, crispy gear. Like, it's just been ironed. When you see a pro dude wearing, or even like a high divisional guy or something, the gear is beat to shit.
Yes.
Because this guy is diving, sliding, running, throw it in a gear bag, traveling, it's getting beat up. So you can tell, like, okay, this guy has, like you said, brand new, crispy gear. He's either just now starting and has some money, or he quit for a couple years and has some money, and he's just hopping on A&S gear, blowing it all, and getting himself hooked up, which, I mean, more power to him. I mean,
yes.
Other than
100%.
Don't match, just get different colors or something.
Oh, I don't fear anybody that has matching gear. Like I said, I don't fear that. Yeah. Only thing I ever respect on the field coming out is a guy wearing a profiler. I think if somebody is wearing, if they're wearing a no visor profiler with like I think the most intimidating mask to see is a worn beat up profiler with an old HD yellow lens inside of it. Like, when I see one of those, it makes me feel like I
might have to fuck this guy up, like, for real.
Yeah. I'm thinking this dude is like not Billy Sarinsky. He's like Gator Glaze, Rusty Glaze, like those dudes, or one of the older, like, very seasoned pros. I cannot think of who I'm.
I have to get me some profilers.
Huh?
I have to get.
I
got a red pair around somewhere.
I cannot think who it is, man. Who the fuck is it? It's an old pro player that always wore them. A lot of guys still wear them. But,
Well, what makes the profile even better with that when you unclip the strap and get it out of the ears. That kind of is like the icing on the cake right there.
That's what I'm saying, yes. And obviously they have modified profilers and stuff like that. But
even the modified ones aren't, like you said, if you see someone with a nice, you could even say a 15, 20-year-old pair of profilers. I mean, those things have been out forever. I mean, I had a pair. I had a pair really early, probably 04 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around. So if you see someone wearing like a black pair, because I mean now they have all the reprints and stuff, but just a black pair that's kind of faded, got some paint all up in the little profiler parts.
Get them out.
And you're like, this guy might know what he's doing. And the rest of his gear can match, be like, that fucking mask, bro. You know, so you've done some shit out here before.
You fucked somebody up a time or two. Like, you know, this dude, like, it definitely means business. So I respect that. Guy comes out in that. If he's wearing that mask, I'm like, all right, this dude's real deal.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I'm with it. I think I actually would agree. It used to be like that with flexes, but now I mean, and you can see the 10
everybody
flexes
in the
behind
world. Me. Yes, but everybody has a flex now.
Like, and my thing with it is I've been wearing them for fucking ever. Like, it's what I've loved for years. So now I hate. Obviously, people can wear it really fuck them up, but now, like, when I see people wearing, I'm like, God dang, man! Like, I liked these things. Right, I mean, they were popular, obviously, but people were going to more of a quick change style, grills, profilers, even I4s, and I was like, I just like the way I breathe well out of these flexes. And I've had other masks and took some breaks out of flexes, but I was like, every time I come back to them, I'm like, well, and now everybody fucking loves them, and they're worth way more than they should be. So if anybody wants to buy any of those, I got those black Revos are for sale, and those bandana red frames. Let me know.
God.
So I got one more topic. I saw this question, I believe it was either Instagram or Facebook of Bunker King, and they said if there was like a new type of format and you had the option of one of these two, like what would you pick? Would you pick limited pods or limited paint? I know what I would do.
Same thing.
It is the same thing. I do agree, but like let's say, I mean that was their question. I think limited pods because my thing is I think you should be limited to no more than 4 pods ever. I'm with that. I don't like. I see you.
I'm the 4-pod champion, baby.
Well, I mean, me and you still to this day. I don't understand. I play back. I have never shot more than 4 pods. I must be fucking doing it wrong. But we sometimes win tournaments, so I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's just so much paint.
I live and die by 4 pods.
I know. Well, I carry 5 this season. It's the first season I've ever done it, and I've never shot more than maybe the 4th pod. So.
It's an inside joke in the VM community because they all call me like the 4-pod. Like everybody always like it's like, man, hey, you sure you don't need another pod? I'm like, nah, dude, hey, 4. I'm good to go on 4. Like I am 4 is perfect. But you know me, like I try to have the lightest possible setup on everything. The fucking fully milled max lux, like the control just because of the weight, like the 45 tank. I want the lightest possible setup so I can make big bites and I can feel like I move and snap faster with all the lightest shit. It's I don't know. I feel like it's definitely at an advantage doing that compared to what most people are running on 68s, which it's a standard now. It's the normal, but most of them have like 6, 7 pods typically. So, but there's front guys that are running like 7, 8 pods.
It's wild.
It's so crazy. It's crazy to me.
I guess that's the reason we'll be stuck in D4 for life.
Yeah, I mean, sandbag for life, but I can't.
I know it's just. I mean, like I said, I could definitely carry 10. I would just never shoot 10. I just don't see, and I think I shoot a lot more paint now than I have in seasons past. Like I would carry 4, and we're winning games. And if I shoot a hopper and 2 pods, I was like, oh, that's crazy. And what I used to always tell myself, the day I shoot 4 pods is when I will carry it like 5. And I kind of still have that, like the day I shoot all 5 of these pods out of my pack, I'll carry 6. Like, and that's just kind of how I do it in my head because I was like, I don't need to be carrying, like you said, like unnecessary weight around the field. Like obviously 1 pod does not weigh much, but I don't need to have that extra pod out there. I mean, that's just a waste of paint, really. I mean, it could be sitting in the cooler being chilled or something else, way more productive for it. But, okay, yeah. And that's what I had. I only had those 3. I didn't really have anything else super wild. I don't know if you've been.
Well, mine was mainly I wanted to talk about the practice. That do you feel that we're putting ourselves behind the 8 ball by not practicing? Not that we're doing it on purpose, but that we really can't.
I mean, obviously yes. I believe so. But I think it just depends on the crew of people we have out there. We're very fortunate, and I don't think a lot of teams can say this. I could be completely wrong, but we have a core group that has legitimately played with each other for the better part of at least 10 years, if not longer. But you know what I mean? There's at least 4 of us, and now the other ones have been around at this time a minimum of 2 years. Some of them coming on 3 and 4. So I think that, obviously, that's no substitute for practice. There isn't. You have to just get out there and play. And you have to do drills. I think drills eventually I don't want to say lose their place. That's not correct. But if you keep drilling so much and never practice other people, I think that could be very harmful too. And that's almost what we were getting at. Now we have done nothing. We've been literally working on the field with the exception of last weekend. That was just like an off weekend because there was no turf there. And that was really it.
We couldn't do anything.
We just couldn't do anything. So there really wasn't a reason. I mean, other than we could have ran drills. But everyone has legitimately, honestly worked their ass off for the better part of 4 weekends now. So it's like, I mean, everyone kind of understandably wanted a break.
Yeah.
But yes, it is hurting us. But I just don't think we have another option, honestly, as bad as that is.
Just gotta travel.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, well, me and you both Saturday night were messaging Fields like, okay, well, I mean, that was pretty much. I think everyone pretty much said, I will travel somewhere, but I'm not going to the local field to do drills. Everyone wanted to actually scrimmage a team.
Yes.
And just no other fields were playing either, which I mean, maybe could be a good sign. Maybe no one else is playing either. But
doubt it.
I doubt it. I doubt some of the other North Carolina teams are not playing, especially with how this I got the hiccups now, so I apologize if I'm making noise in the mic. But how tight this season is. I mean, the first place team is pretty solid in first place unless they have a miserable showing.
Hopefully, all of them get hit by a bus.
No, she's such a fucking dick. Maybe they all get COVID and they can't go.
Maybe they all get COVID and almost die, but they survive, but they can't make the event. Maybe that'll happen, and then we can just trot our way in the first place.
I mean, that's about the only way. That the first place team has to like almost take dead last for us to squeak
Maybe
by.
we just keep sabotaging all their gear every point.
Let's go shit in everybody's pods.
Yeah, just shit in all their hoppers. you know, go out there.
What would your reaction be if you grabbed your loader and you're like, someone just? Would you just say, "Who's shit in my loader?" Or what would you say?
Why is there a hot steamy turd in my loader, dude? Something like, what? I'm like, oh, you just shit in my loader.
You just it was. No, I figured it out.
You just shit in my loader, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I think I would just be like, who pooped in my loader? Like, I'm really confused. Like, I don't know. I have ideas. I have teammates I could definitely say, like, oh, this is probably Shane.
Yeah. Who like, put banana pudding in my or who put chocolate pudding in my loader, dude?
Banana pudding, that's fucking gross.
Yeah, somebody put some pudding in my loader. Why does it stink? Is it old?
That's funny. But, I mean, yeah, it is hurting us. I know you think it's hurting us, too. I mean, I know your answer. But,
yeah, for sure.
I mean,
we were already rusty at the last event.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of the guys are rusty at the last event. It's just only going to happen even worse now.
Well, just think of that. Yes, it probably will be worse, but think they were rusty and we lost 3 games. If that says anything.
All day.
That is, I believe we talked about that, but that still blows my mind how you can lose 3 games. Obviously, we lost in the only elimination round. I mean, we made it out of prelims, lost in the semis, I guess, is what that would be. And that's the elimination round, and we lost to that team in overtime and went home. Like, that is just – it's almost unbelievable because, like, it's 3 games. Like, who loses 3 games and takes, what, 8th place, 7th place, 6th place, something? Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. Yeah. I don't know.
It's so weird.
It is weird. I think that's all I had. What about you?
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a shorter one.
I wanted to stress that. Chris, we'll have Chris Rangel on here for the next cast.
Yep.
So you guys will have a little bit of stuff to hear from him. He'll have a different view on a lot of stuff. So
yes, absolutely.
He kind of thinks about stuff in my way, but a little bit more in the business aspect and the professional way, where I'm not in that manner, obviously.
He's not very professional at all.
No, not at all. So he's a very type A personality, but he's also, I've known Chris for a long time, and he's very professional and down to the cut. So
good. So that'll be a fun one. We'll make that episode a little longer, maybe a 2-parter or something. Depends on how long we go. I imagine we can go for quite a long time with him. So thank you for listening. Check out the merch. Check Facebook. Like we said, give us topics. I had a brain fart there.
Buy a gun. Buy as many guns as you can.
Buy a gun, paintball guns and all. Hopefully we'll have some forces here very soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But again, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Later.